What's up, guys? It's Zero here, bringing you all a brand new episode of the Anml Aftershow. Welcome, everyone, to the Anml Aftershow, the best Call of Duty show here on YouTube. And we got a bunch of stuff that we want to talk about here in this episode, so let's get into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a little bit later than I thought it would be. Had some technical difficulties a little bit earlier, but nonetheless, we're here, bringing you guys another Anml After Show. This one being all in relation to day 3. It was a pretty exciting day, guys. Really was. It was a fun-filled day of Call of Duty. And we're going to jump into this thing right here, right now. As I'd mentioned, hope you guys are all having, or I didn't mention this, but I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, night, and as we are continuing our coverage of EWC 2025 Call of Duty Black Ops 6, today was another exciting one. And you know, not many surprises outside of one matchup today, and we'll get to that here in a sec. Our day started, though, with Team Heretics versus the Boston Breach. And as I had kind of felt, you know, Team Heretics just a little bit too much for the Boston Breach. And, you know, the Boston Breach has been a really fun kind of underdog story ever since COD Champs. And I felt that, you know, going into this match, I thought that there was a possibility that they could take Team Heretics the distance. I just felt that they were going to come up short. They did come up short. They lost 3-1 to Team Heretics, and Heretics looks really, really solid. They've been playing very well throughout the course of EWC. And I'm excited to see what they're able to do the rest of the tournament. I think that there's a good chance that they could make some surprises, but more than likely, this is as far as they go. But I will tell you that the Heretic story at EWC has been awesome. And that was our first quarterfinal of the day. Then we moved into Five Fears versus the Vancouver Surge. And once again, guys, it feels like the Vancouver Surge are in full, you know, championship Sunday form at this point, because they mollywopped Five Fears. They 3-0'd, clean sweep. They are playing lights out Call of Duty right now. And took them a little bit, it felt like, to kind of get the ball moving at EWC, similar to COD Champs. I mean, they lost the first day at COD Champs, dropped down to the losers bracket, fought their way all the way through the losers bracket to the grand finals and lost to Optic. But they clearly showed at COD Champs that they were the second best team on the planet, and they're playing like that right now. But they won 3-0. I'm excited to see how far they can potentially go. We might be seeing a COD Champs rematch at EWC, and that would be interesting. But nonetheless, Vancouver did beat Five Fears 3-0. Then we got to our third quarterfinal of the day, and this one was probably the biggest surprise to me. Movistar Koi and Omit. I thought that Omit was going to win this one, but I thought that they would go the distance with Movistar. I thought it was going to be 3-2, Omit winning it. But the complete opposite happened, where Movistar Koi beat Omit 3-0. And I think Omit just, I'm not sure if they were completely just outmatched the whole game, but it just felt like the underdog story, I guess you could say, of Omit and how far they've come here at EWC, that magic was starting to kind of falter, was starting to kind of fade away. And because they've been playing out of their minds the entire EWC 2025, and they got slammed against Movie Star. And you know what? Movie Star Koi has been surprising me the entire EWC. They're another, it's been fascinating, with Joe Deceives and these boys. They've been crushing it, really. They're playing lights out Call of Duty right now, and them beating Omit in the fashion they did, that's going to really lead into potentially something going into Championship Sunday. And that leads us to the big matchup everybody was looking forward to. That being none other than Optic versus 100 Thieves. Now, I had predicted yesterday, based on how well Optic has been playing all through COD Champs and so far at EWC, I felt they're either going to 3-0, just a clean sweep of 100 Thieves, or they're going to, maybe 100 Thieves will take a map off them. And 100 Thieves did take a map off them. But Optic won this one 3-1. Optic is the best team on the planet, and it's really not even close at this point, guys. I mean, I really don't think it's even close. They are playing so cohesively together as a unit. You can just see from before the matches even started, they're all smiling, they're having fun, they're just vibing off of each other. This team is playing unbelievable Call of Duty. And 100 Thieves, they had their moments, they had their chances, but Optic just finds ways to win, where even though they're down, they're definitely not out yet. They've been very clutch in a number of situations throughout COD Champs. And then once again here with EWC against 100 Thieves, just incredible Call of Duty, man. What do I think with 100 Thieves? It's tough, guys, because they definitely went farther than FaZe did, which I believe FaZe is going to make some changes. I think Falcons is going to make some changes. I think Roster Mania is going to be pretty wild this year. And I think that there's a possibility that 100 Thieves makes one change potentially to their roster, maybe two, but I don't think that they're going to stick it out. Even though they had, a couple of majors that they won back to back during this season, the latter half where it really matters to come together as a team and really build something special, that didn't happen for FaZe. It didn't happen for 100 Thieves. It's happening to a team that back-to-back years, they were shaky throughout the year, but then COD Champs came around and they put it together. And then once again, they did the same thing again, back-to-back years, Optic. So where does that leave us with 100 Thieves? I think that there's a very high likelihood that they will make a change. What that's going to be, it's hard to say, guys. I don't know. I would say potentially Envoy could be someone that they drop. Potentially Ghosty. It's hard to say because Ghosty didn't have the greatest series against Optic, but it'll be interesting. It'll be fascinating. But the reality is that Optic is playing like the better team. They're playing like the best team on the planet, which they are right now. And so Optic's coming for their revenge of what happened last year at EWC. But that leads us into tomorrow, guys, Championship Sunday. And Championship Sunday is going to be an exciting one, guys. We've got Team Heretics going up against Optic in the semifinal. And then the Vancouver Surge play Movie Star Koi. So I'm going to give you guys my predictions here. I believe that Optic is certainly going to win that matchup against Heretics. I think Heretics has had a great story this entire EWC. I do think that Optic more than likely is going to clean sweep them 3-0. But once again, I think there is a possibility that Heretics could do what 100 Thieves did and win a map. So they will, more than likely, it'll be 3-0 or 3-1. But I have Optic without question moving on to the grand finals. And then in our second semifinal matchup, Vancouver Surge and Movie Star Koi. Once again, kind of like Team Heretics, Movie Star Koi has had an outstanding tournament, outstanding EWC, but I believe it ends here. I could actually see Movie Star potentially going the distance against Vancouver with like a Vancouver winning 3-2, but I think it's more than likely going to be Vancouver winning this one 3-1. I think Movie Star will get a map off of them, but I don't think they're going to go much further than that. So I've got Vancouver and Optic in a rematch of COD champs, and Movie Star Koi and Team Heretics fighting for third place. So look, man, it's been an outstanding tournament once again. EWC is proving to be a really fun tournament, end of year tournament. I mean, sure, it probably should be scheduled before COD champs, but nonetheless, man, I love that EWC exists. I think it's great for Call of Duty. I think it's great for all these different esports, like StarCraft 2, for example. It's awesome that, we're not really getting very many StarCraft 2 events anymore put on by Blizzard. And so having EWC here for small games and super big games is huge. I love it. But great day of COD. I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow and Championship Sunday, and we'll be covering it, guys. Let me know what you all think about EWC 2025 and Black Ops 6 so far. Let us know what your thoughts are and who's going to win it all tomorrow during Championship Sunday. And I would say, guys, if you're going to ask me, who I believe is going to win it all, I believe Optic will win it all against Vancouver. I think Vancouver will take a couple of maps off of Optic once again, but I believe that Optic is the best team in the world, and they're going to prove it once again tomorrow. And I believe that Heretics will actually win third place. I believe they will beat Movie Star Koi. And I think that could be a pretty close matchup. I think it could be close, but I do think Heretics will win third place. But the question is for all of you, who's going to win EWC 2025 for Black Ops 6 tomorrow? Let us know in that comment section down below, and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down and out of the way, let's move into this, shall we? Oh, man. Guys, it's been a while since I felt like there was going to be something that could potentially give Call of Duty a run for their money. It's been a minute, and I'll tell you what, I thought that the last game that was going to give Call of Duty a little bit of a run for its money was X Defiant. And I was wrong about X Defiant. I thought the X Defiant was going to be something that people would be playing to this day for sure. And it did not materialize. And it just kind of shows you any game that tries to be the COD killer ends up failing miserably. And it's happened like this for years. But the last time that there was really a game that gave Call of Duty a real run for its money was back when Infinite Warfare released. You guys remember this? Infinite Warfare released, you had Titanfall 2 release, and Battlefield 1. Infinite Warfare, that reveal trailer that came out was at the time, the most disliked video of all time on YouTube. And people were so sick of the jetpack era. And a lot of people moved over to Battlefield. And Battlefield won because that's what a lot of people wanted. They wanted the boots on the ground once again. And Battlefield 1, I got to tell you, it was a great game. But it still didn't feel like this is, the COD killer. It felt like maybe just for a year, people were kind of moving over to Battlefield 1 just because they were upset with Call of Duty. But now, with Battlefield 6 and where we are the current state of Call of Duty, once again, is even though Call of Duty has a ravenous fan base, Battlefield 6 looks to be what Call of Duty should be. And as this article states, Battlefield 6 looks more like Call of Duty than COD itself. And it's so true. Black Ops 7, guys, I've stated this a number of times already on the channel. The worst teaser trailer I've ever seen Call of Duty produce or release. And it's not even close. I think Black Ops 7 has an identity crisis with that trailer that we're seeing. Is it Halo? Is it Mass Effect? Is it Titanfall? Is it Stranger Things? Is like, what is it? And yes, it's just a teaser trailer, guys. We can't overreact to it, but I just saw that trailer and I was like, man, Call of Duty's losing, not that it's losing what it is, but like it's trying to figure out what it is. Because right now, Call of Duty is just taking pages from Fortnite's book. Do all these collabs, put all these, put Beavis and Butthead, put American Dad, put the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles into the multiplayer, sell them as skins. And they're making Call of Duty more of like, I guess you could say they're making an attempt to make it more of like a kid-friendly game. Well, Battlefield 6 is like, nah, dude. At least right now from what we're seeing, they want to be the more mature title. The game that, the more mature audience is playing. And I'm just going to say it, guys. Battlefield 6 looks great. And that reveal trailer for Battlefield 6, what a reveal trailer is designed to do is to up your excitement a few levels. And Battlefield 6's reveal trailer took my anticipation level to, it raised it multiple times. Whereas the Battlefield, or I should say the Black Ops 7 trailer lowered my expectations and anticipation for it just because I was not impressed at all by that trailer. Well, I want to talk about this, guys, because I think it's a really interesting talking point. Battlefield 6 looks more like Call of Duty than COD itself. This is coming to us from Game Rant and Nick Rodriguez over there. Battlefield 6 has been officially revealed via a trailer that paints it as a much more grounded successor to Battlefield 2042. After the months of disaster surrounding Battlefield 2042's launch, from which the game never truly recovered, such a creative pivot is no doubt welcome news to many Battlefield fans. I remember when Battlefield 2042, Battlefield does a great job of their trailers. We have to take that into consideration when we look at Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6's trailer looks great. I mean, the amount of helicopter destruction is unbelievable. But overall, that trailer is great. Battlefield 2042's trailers were great. And then the game released and it had a very shaky launch. Now, look, after they fixed everything, I thought Battlefield 2042 was great. But it took them a while to get the game into a stable place. And so I'm just hoping that Battlefield 6 does not have these issues. And when you see that there's guys like Vince Zampella, who's worked on Call of Duty before, Modern Warfare 2 specifically back in 2009, and then he worked on Titanfall and that universe, Apex Legends, and then he worked on the Jedi games, and now he's working on Battlefield 6. He is making an attempt to he's taken a lot of these things personally with Call of Duty. And I think that he is trying to do what he can to create the Call of Duty killer. That's what I think he's on a mission about. And so with Battlefield 2042, it was what a lot of us were excited about, but it just didn't hit the mark. Now that you've got this team, this Battlefield Studios, with Battlefield 6, I'm telling you, there's some promise here. This reeled in tone will be expressed through Battlefield 6's campaign, a game mode that was infamously omitted from Battlefield 2042. Players will be fighting on behalf of NATO and against an armed militia known as the Pax Armada. The Pax Armada is being funded by detective NATO countries and is attempting to expand their influence through sieges and terrorist attacks, which the players tasked with thwarting. This emphasis on modern warfare and global politics is enough to make any fan of war games excited, but Battlefield 6's high-level themes and apparent storytelling style might make some old-school Call of Duty fans or players perk up their ears. The one thing I will say, the Battlefield stories, they've been good, but the one place where I feel like Battlefield has always lacked in comparison to the Call of Duty stories is the characters. Everybody knows Price, Soap, Ghost, all these different characters within Call of Duty, Makarov and, Mason, and the list goes on and on. With Battlefield, I mean, unless you are super entrenched in the Battlefield lore, a lot of those characters are not as memorable as those from Call of Duty. And so that's one thing I hope they focus on significantly here at Battlefield 6, create some characters that are going to be here for the long haul. You know what I'm saying? I just think creating really good stories, but building around the characters is huge. Battlefield's campaigns always felt like kind of just a get you introduced to the gameplay, the mechanics, and then once you're done with the campaign, now you're ready for the multiplayer, instead of really focusing on that character development. And so that's one thing I hope that they do here with Battlefield 6. Based on its recently released teaser trailer, Black Ops 7 is going to be less about boots on the ground military operations and more about psychological thrills and sci-fi themes. The teaser follows David Mason, son of Black Ops 1's Alex Mason, as he meets with the Guild. This meeting segs into a series of reality-defying visuals depicting David navigating otherworldly realms. The imagery and general tone of the trailer make Black Ops 7 seem more like a Remedy game than a new Call of Duty. 1000%. I couldn't have said it better myself. It looked like Stranger Things, but calling it like a Remedy Control spiritual successor is not a stretch whatsoever. And for some, this is a good thing. It would seem that Black Ops 7 is channeling the first game in the series a bit, as that inaugural release was explicitly designed around psychological themes and psychedelic set pieces. The Black Ops 7 teaser even pays homage to its predecessor by showing David in a room full of TVs, an ostensible reference to Black Ops 1's famous interrogation room, but nevertheless, it doesn't exactly scream Call of Duty, and audiences hoping for a more robust, realistic, traditional military shooter might be disappointed by this continued tendency toward sci-fi and psychological thriller tropes. I have no problem with psychological and sci-fi stuff, guys. But man, Battlefield 6's trailer, it's like all battlefields, war zones, it screams what Call of Duty used to be. When I saw that trailer, guys, okay, yeah, the destructible environments, that's classic Battlefield. But outside of that, when I'm watching that trailer, you want to know what I saw? I saw MW2 2009. That's what I saw. And MW2 2009 was, in my personal opinion, the second greatest Call of Duty ever made. One of the greatest games of all time. From the campaign to the multiplayer, Spec Ops was really cool for what it was. Modern Warfare 2 was incredible. Battlefield 6 looks like a modern day Modern Warfare 2. That's what it looks like to me. Black Ops 7. I can see where they're bringing up Black Ops 1. I can see it, right? But it just, if you would have taken Call of Duty away from it, the title, I would have said, is this Halo? I thought for a moment, is it like a Cortana walking out like with tattoos now? Like, you know what I mean? In the trailer. Um, I there whether Call of Duty, I don't think Call of Duty maybe has an identity crisis, but maybe it does. But it has an identity crisis with some of this marketing, you know, trying to figure out like, what is it? Who are we trying to cater to here? Adults, kids, both? Like, you know, because it just feels like Fortnite in the shop for Call of Duty. And it's just over the top, man. Like, it I want to have really cool gear that you get to unlock, ghillie suits and, you know, unlockable items that we can unlock from playing the game and earning stuff, earnable items over payable items, the really cool emblems, the different icons, and those things are really important. But I don't think that Battlefield's going to do what Call of Duty's doing with these different collabs like Beavis and Butthead and American Dad and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the list goes on and on and on. I just want to have really cool earnable items and really cool payable items that make, or I should say, that match the theme of the game. Period. That's what I want to see. It's important to note that Black Ops 7 isn't occurring in a vacuum. Call of Duty strayed from its military sim roots long ago. It did. And that's why I really hope that Battlefield 6 is incredible. And here's why, guys. Because competition breeds greatness. And what I mean by that is, if Battlefield 6 gets a bunch of people from the Call of Duty community to play it, because guys, I'm telling you right now, if I play the beta and I love it, and when the game comes out and we get it and we love it, we're going to be playing Battlefield 6. I'm not saying that we won't play Black Ops 7, but if Battlefield 6 is more down the line of what we want, kind of like how we had back in the day with Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1, we wanted Battlefield 1. We just wanted it to be the COD. And COD went a totally different direction. And so we were like, okay, well, we'll play Battlefield 1. And that's what we did. And I'm thinking that Call of Duty's lost its way when it comes to the military roots of the game. Battlefields, like playing on these battlefields, very, you know, I just think of all the different maps from like MW2 and even Black Ops 2 and stuff. Like, even before the DLC with the aquarium, the skate park, and all that stuff, those were DLC. I'm okay with it being like that with like DLC, but the overall shooter itself in the game, I don't know, dude. I want it to feel like a military title, because that's what it was built on. But nonetheless, based on currently unavailable information, Battlefield 6 seems like the most likely game to pick up where Call of Duty left off. The Battlefield 6 trailer showcases the aforementioned political thriller themes of the game's narrative, which has shades of Modern Warfare's plot. But the presentation style of the game is worth noting as well. Battlefield 6 is ostensibly aiming for a cinematic, set-piece-driven single-player campaign, which is what Call of Duty has always been known for. Yeah, I mean, it seems like they are absolutely, they're coming for Call of Duty's throat right now. They're like, they want to fill the void of what Call of Duty is not doing. That's what it feels like. Battlefield's like, you know what, guys, we got you. Like, we see what you guys want, and we're about to deliver it to you. We tried it with 2042, and we failed, and it's on us. But now, here's Battlefield 6. And guess what? You don't have to worry about us coming out with a new Battlefield every single year. We're just going to continue to pour resource and development into this game for the next number of years. And I don't know, man. I think a lot of people in the Call of Duty community are going to give Battlefield 6 a try. I really do. I think that this could be a year where Battlefield 6, I don't think it's overall going to have a higher player base than Call of Duty, just because now that Xbox owns Call of Duty, it goes day one on Xbox Game Pass. So many people play the game right away because of Game Pass. But Battlefield 6, man, I just think this could be great. And then they're coming out with a battle royale that's going to compete against Warzone. I mean, bro, what's the next thing? Could Battlefield 6 add esports? Like Battlefield esports? Could that be a thing that comes? Because I believe that what Call of Duty has needed for a very long time is competition. Someone who's going to come in and is going to start really transcending the space in a direction, listening to the community. Call of Duty has done a terrible job. And what I mean by that is Activision, Infinity Ward, all of them have done a terrible job of listening to the community, listening to the competitive community. They just don't, like, the competitive community was built by the teams. It was built by the competitive teams. That's who built that scene. It was not Call of Duty. It was the teams that built it. With Battlefield, I want to see something like that happen here. I really do. Because I love Call of Duty, guys, and I've stated it for years. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But I want Call of Duty to go back to what Call of Duty was. I miss MW2 back in 2009. I miss Black Ops 2. There was just something about those where I'm not saying these modern Call of Duties are bad. I'm not saying that. But, I'll give you an example. Modern Warfare 2019, for example, in my mind, guys, was the greatest Call of Duty campaign I've ever played. It topped MW2 in 2009. It topped Black Ops 1, MW3, Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Ghosts. It topped all of them. But I thought the multiplayer was trash. And MW2, I think MW2 was one of the worst. I think it was probably the worst campaign I've ever played from Call of Duty. MW3 was pretty bad as well. Black Ops 4 didn't even have campaign. I don't know. The last number of years, guys, it's not that I don't like Call of Duty. I love Call of Duty. But it just, ever since Black Ops 2, it's just kind of felt like, or I really even shouldn't even. Black Ops 2 was the last one that just felt really special to me. And I don't know, man. This feels like Battlefield 6. It feels like MW2 2009 in 2025. And it's rumored that this game's coming out this year, and we're going to be getting a open beta soon. We're going to be playing that, boys. We're going to be playing that. We'll be playing the Black Ops 7 beta. Guys, we're going to play both of these games. But why is it that Battlefield, and I love that Battlefield's doing this, though. Battlefield is doing everything they can to fill a void. Where maybe the old heads of Call of Duty who played Call of Duty back in 2009 and was there during the glory days of COD, from COD 4 all the way to, MW3 or Black Ops 2, wherever you want to kind of, put that marker. I just miss it, man. I miss it. And Battlefield 6 feels like MW2 2009 in 2025. I don't know. With insane destructible environments. I'm incredibly excited, guys, about Battlefield 6. I'm just going to put that out there. Very excited about it. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below, and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. Well, with that down and out of the way, everybody, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been joining and enjoying the content. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you for joining us. It was a late stream, but I'm grateful for all of you. And I'm really excited about the future of the FPS genre. Call of Duty has competition coming, and I think it's going to come in the form of Battlefield 6. I really do. This could be the year if DICE, Battlefield Studios, if they knock it out of the park, man, bro, I'm excited about that. I think Call of Duty, even though I love this franchise, it has gotten complacent because nobody else can compete with them. It's time. It's time, guys. It's time. But we're going to be covering everything from Call of Duty Black Ops 6 to Battlefield 6, FPS titles that we find interesting and exciting. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the After Show. Hope you guys are excited about EWC Championship Sunday for Black Ops 6 tomorrow. We'll be giving you guys more and more of this content. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you guys enjoyed this After Show, make sure that you leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, just keep grinding. And as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.